Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Mother-in-Law Suite. Sorry about missing the episode last week. That's my fault. I do apologize. I had some oral surgery that had to happen, and I went and did that, and I really couldn't talk. But I'll get back into that a little bit. I'll talk a little bit more on that here in a bit. A few things wanted to talk about few shows, few video game updates, some things, some stuff. I'm alone this week. If you couldn't tell, I tried to get, or I didn't really have anybody planned up or to get on, but I do think I'm gonna have some guests or maybe even a collaboration happening eventually, and I think that's something to really look forward to. So keep that in the back of your mind. But let's get into it. So there were a few video game updates. Star Citizen got a 3.17 patch, which updated performance issues. So it mainly desync. So if there was like desync on the server, you can kind of, how would you like, sync fly kind of thing? Like you won't crash into each other as easily, so you can fly kind of pretty close to each other, kind of like a synchronization swimming or something. It's kind of cool. But they added ship refueling and selling, like local inventory selling. So if you have like guns on you, or like armor, or some sort of like hand mined minerals or something like that, you can sell it at a terminal at most shops or anything. So it's pretty neat. They added a few things, but there are some bugs, um or maybe reworks. We aren't really sure. Mining has kind of gotten a little different. You have to get a lot closer to the rock to scan it, so that's unfortunate, because you used to be able to do it from like 100 meters away. Now you have to do it in like 15. So it might be a little bit more time consuming, but it might also just be a bug. So I don't really know. So we'll wait for that and kind of see how that goes. Bunker missions are bad still. They are buggy and people teleport around, and I think that's basically it. I don't really think too many people play Star Citizen that listens to this, so I won't stay on it for too long. So we'll move on to the next thing. I've been playing been playing modded Minecraft with the homies. We got a little modded Minecraft server up. I might actually stream a little bit of it if you guys want to check it out over at twitch.tv/Bob the Potato. I might be streaming a little bit tonight. We might be hanging around. We got the proximity chat mod. We're hanging. We're gaming. I'm making a wizard tower right now, and we're gonna work on elemental craft, I think is what it is, or something. I don't really play this game, but a lot of my like friends from high school and from middle school all have the game. So, or not have the game, but are playing on the server. So we're gonna go play on that for a bit. It's gonna be kind of fun. We're gonna be hanging. We're gonna be gaming. We're gonna be memeing. You know how it goes. But I watched a movie the other day, and it was pretty good, bro. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be 100% honest. The movie was called The Night House, and it was okay. The twist at the end was a bit more different than I thought it was gonna be. I guess spoiler alert if you have any interest, but it's like a horror movie, and what it is it kind of sets it up like this, like secretive, like um I don't know. It seemed like he was like a secret agent, or like some sort of like he knew something like scientifically that like is just this mystery. So like I thought it was like this like really cool elaborate, like I don't know, like he opened the world to this like weird, like, or opened a dimensional rift and unleashed demons, or a demon or something. And I thought that was like what it was going to be like, but it was he really just joined a cult. It was like weird, but it's a pretty okay movie. The cinematography is really cool, and the ideas behind some of the inspirations, I guess, that they have it, or that they used, is pretty neat, and it reflects really well on the way they like did, not necessarily just the lighting, but like just the shots and the unraveling of the story. And it's really kind of, it's really cool, because you'll see like the main like antagonist is like invisible, but not invisible because he's not really even there. It's this weird thing, but you can still see him occasionally, but it's not like you can see him. He's not on the screen. He's like it's like the silhouette of a person based off the objects around and the scene, and it's really cool. It's really neat. So that was pretty. That's what kind of really made me want to watch the movie is how they kind of portrayed the guy that you were looking at. But I've been watching a lot of anime. There's been quite a good amount. I said quite a good amount of anime that has been releasing this season. I haven't started Spy X Family yet. I really want to see that, but I have been watching Aharon-san. I don't know the full name, and I can't pronounce it either. But if you type in Aharon-san, you'll be able to find it. It's kind of like Komi Can't Communicate. Actually, quite a lot like Komi Can't Communicate, but instead of like her just not speaking, she speaks and she doesn't have an issue speaking. She wants to be friends with everybody, and she but she's just really quiet. Like she talks like this. Like she just whispers and nobody can hear her. But like once she starts talking, she like won't stop. She keeps going. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat character, pretty neat show, pretty funny. Um and I've been trying to watch Shield Hero, Rising of Shield Hero, the new season. That was a new season that's come out so far, or another time this another show this season that's come out. I'm sorry, it's been a while. Um, and we're it's going okay. I've only watched the like, I think the first two episodes. I don't want to touch too much on it, but it looks pretty promising. I'm excited to see more. Um, Love is War, Kaguya-sama Love is War, one of my favorite shows, has started a new season. I haven't started the show yet because I have been watching another show alongside Aran-san. Aran-san's like a weekly release, so I'm watching that simulcast. Right now, I've been watching March Comes In Like a Lion. It's like the shogi anime. This kid was like in middle school and he became a professional shogi player. So he's in high school working a full-time job as a shogi player and then also being a school like a high school student, and it's like it shows like the process of like how has to deal with loss even though he's like he's been a prodigy basically all his life, but now he's moving up in the ranks and now he's kind of like realizing how hard it can be. But he's still really good, but occasionally he'll like beat himself up if he loses something and it's or loses a match. It's really cool to see how it goes and like how supportive like the supporting characters are as well, and like how they can interact with him, and you'll find yourself like binging it. If you watch like one or two episodes, you'll end up watching three or four, maybe even five or something. It's a pretty good show. But it's called March Comes In Like a Lion once again. I think that's it on anime that I've been watching. I feel like there was another one that I needed to watch. I'm still trying to catch up on One Piece, but I'm kind of taking a break from shonen. I like wanted slice of life and some other stuff in my life, something a bit more simple and tame to pass the time. But I think I'm gonna start Spy X Family eventually because that's also simulcast and that's like one episode a week that you gotta watch. So that'd be a hard on that. And then if I finish keeping up with like Shield Hero, that's three, and then so on and so. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll touch base next week, and we'll see what we're looking for. I'll see what I'm watching, see what we're hanging, see what's going on. I'm losing my mind, bro. So to go back into what I was saying earlier, I did have like the reason I missed my episode last week. I ended up having all four of my wisdom teeth taken out, and they were all heavily impacted. They were so impacted that I didn't think I even had any, and I went to the dentist and they did an X-ray and they're like, yeah, you have all four, and they need to be taken out like now, because they were like coming in sideways, and one of them was creating this really big cavity on my top left tooth, my top second molar that we didn't notice before, but since it was coming in sideways, it was actually eating through the sidewall of my tooth. So I had to get those out, and I went in. Within a week, they told me, hey, you got to get these out. A week later, I got them out, and um, when I went in to go get it done, they asked me like, hey, do you want local anesthetic? Do you want or not local anesthetic, but do you want like local numbing? Do you want like laughing gas? What do you want during this procedure, and I said, well, just do like I want to be like knocked out. Like I don't want to be awake at all. So they put me to sleep, and I had really bad hiccups for like 3 days, and I looked that up, and apparently like some people get really bad hiccups after being put under like that. So that was interesting. I didn't know that they people did that or anything happened like that. But after after the procedure, I I came home and I was kind of bleeding, nothing too crazy. And first day was kind of hurt, like really hurting. The next day was still really hurting, probably worse than the first day. And then the third day came around, and from everywhere that I read online and after on the instructions they gave me, it was like if you have pain like 48 hour, like after 48 hours or like 72 hours, like you gotta like let us know. And on that third day, I was like, my ear was in so much pain. Like every time I swallowed, it felt like my eardrum was gonna pop. And I go back in. The dude, the dentist looks in my mouth, and he looks in my left socket on the left side of my jaw, and he looks down in there, and he's like, you know, it. I thought maybe you had a dry socket. He says you don't have a dry socket, but what I'm looking at right now, your tooth was so heavily impacted that like even though you don't have a dry socket, that nerve that like is typically exposed when you do have one is still exposed even though you don't have one. If that makes sense. So I didn't have a dry socket, but it was still hurting like I would if I had a dry socket because of how impacted my tooth was. So the dude just ended up treating it like a dry socket and then packing it with this like medical packing, and they coat it with like I think it's oil of clove or something. It tastes really bad, and it numbs your entire mouth if it touches anything, and if it doesn't touch anything it just numbs that socket, and they'll leave it in for like a day, and then like they usually will leave it in a day. I'll come back the next day and they'll change it out. Come back the next day, change it out. Come back the next day, change it out. Wait a day, come back, change it out, and then wait 2 days. Um, so it was a weird thing. But after after that, I kind of went home. It stopped hurting. My ear started immediately feeling better. I wasn't really feeling much worse. I just had to go back like every other day and get it changed out, and it was or every day to every other day and get it changed out for like a week, and it was just exhausting. Now on that Friday, I got it changed out, and I wouldn't be back until that next Monday. So they left it in over the weekend, right? So Monday came around, I went in. They're like, I'm like, man, listen, my right side is hurting me now, like really bad, and I don't know why. So they're like, okay, let's take a look at it. And mind you, the my left side is what was causing all the issues. So they look at it and they start like looking at it and kind of poking around on it, and it starts like oozing, or like it starts draining, like there's drainage. This is kind of gross, sorry. If you guys have any issues with this, probably should have put a warning, but hey. um there was like really bad drainage, and the dude kind of like starts pushing on it, and she kind of start like, or the nurse starts pushing on it, and then the dude kind of the actual doctor comes in and starts pushing on it and like drains it all out, and he's like, man, this like it looks like it's a start of an infection. It like doesn't look like it is infected, but it looks like it could definitely lead to one. So he said, let's go ahead and pack it. And this is a week after the surgery, like a week and a half almost after the surgery, right? So my socket on that side is almost healed, like, or not completely, but it's started healing like a pretty good bit, and it's like kind of covered up, like it's kind of grown back to the side of my tooth. Now I still have like a socket in my gum, but there's like no way to access it. There's like a hole because it's like it's kind of morphed back to my tooth a little bit, right? So for them to pack it, they have to like stick these like weird little tweezer things in my gum and pull it back and then pack it with this medical packing. And it's one of the most uncomfortable feelings I've ever felt in my life. It doesn't hurt, but it feels so unnatural that it is just so it is immensely uncomfortable. And it's just that's been going on. I still have a packing in my right tooth. I've only recently this week been able to start like smiling and like laughing and like actually eating food. Like, I think yesterday was the first day I actually ate food and didn't hurt. Like, my jaw wasn't hurting when I was eating, or my teeth weren't hurting when I was eating. Um, but other like it was kind of rough. It's been rough, but my right side I still got that packing, and I go back in this Monday. I think it's the second. I go back on the second to get this packing out, and I think it's going to be the last one because I went back ever since they said it was the infection. I've been on antibiotics as well as that medical packing. The reason they packed it is because it has some like microbial um defense, and it can kill like leading infections and stuff like that. So if it's leading up to an infection, if they put that in there quick enough, it'll kill it off. Um, but whenever I go back in, hopefully they'll take it out and say that I'm all good to go and I won't need to come back in. I hope I don't. Um, but I have been going through it with that. It's been kind of rough. It's been a thing. Um, but yeah, no. I I really don't have much more to talk about. That's been my life for the past week and a half. It's just talking about how excruciating my pain is in my teeth, and I've just been kind of sitting around playing Star Citizen and going like just sleeping. So, it's been kind of boring for the last 2 weeks, week and a half. But like I said, I do have some stuff coming up. I like that I'm really excited for. If like I really think they're gonna follow through. Hopefully they do. If not, that's okay. But I think it's gonna be pretty promising. It's gonna be pretty cool. I think you guys will enjoy it. Also, I've been like I play some board games. I play quite a bit of board games, and there's a new Catan like game out. Not even expansion. It's like a game. It's I think Catan Starfarers. It looks sick, and I'm like wanting to buy it, but it's like $100, and it's just expensive, and I'm really trying to justify the purchase. So eventually, I think I'm gonna get it, but when I do, I'll definitely review that and talk about that a little bit. Um, I did install a few games to kind of replay a little bit. One of my favorite games that I've played at like ever is this game called it's Control. It's in the same universe as Quantum Break and Alan Wake. And there's actually a new Alan Wake game coming up, which is really cool. And Control is such a good and beautiful game. It came out in 2019 and it still holds up. It's a very like cinematic and thriller-esque, almost even horror. It's horror, I guess. To most people it probably would be pretty spooky. It, it it's a mystery, and it's really cool, and it's one of the few games where I found myself like really wanting the collectibles and like wanting to read every piece of information I found because the story was so fleshed out and so cool. And since it's so like loose, not like I don't want to say loosely connected, but like it's definitely like rooted together, these games. But the ties that they show you, or the little pathways that they show you, or tree branches that they give you to see like how they are connected, they're so small. So so it kind of leaves you guessing, and really want to see where that universe goes, because I think it'd be really cool if they like if they get a game, or if they make a game where all three of them kind of like converge or something. I don't know what their plan is, but it looks sick, and I'm so excited for it. I think it's going to be cool. Um, so I don't know. I'm really excited for that new Alan Wake game. Yeah, no, I think I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about. I do apologize. It's been a rough week or two. It I'm next week. Hopefully, it'll be better. It should definitely be better by next week. I'm gonna start going back to the gym and kind of getting a routine back together. And since I can actually eat, I won't be so tired all the time. And we'll get back on track. So next Saturday, expect a decent episode. we'll get it going. But as of now, I think it's time for the Spotify. You know what I'm saying. Autonomist, Autonomist. It is a gent instrumental metal band. I said gent instrument. You know what I mean. Um, my cousin recommended it to me today. I listened to a few of their songs. They're solid, very good band, pretty cool. Something to listen to. And there's similar artists under the like on their page. It says like fans also like. There's Four Giants. I know Four Giants. They're a very cool, very neat. Also instrumental band. Kind of like the Helix Nebula if you know them, or Andromeda if you know them. They're both really cool bands. Actually, all of them are really neat bands. There's some more bands down here like Wideck, which is sick. Pomegranate Tiger is pretty good. Angel Vivaldi or Vivaldi, yeah. Angel Vivaldi. That's a guitarist, and he's really good. So check him out if you haven't heard of him. But I think that's gonna be it. I I do once again apologize for missing last week. I feel like I'm not even apologizing to you guys. I'm apologizing to myself. But we'll get one next week going. A good one. I'll try to get a guest on, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see what's going on. I will also update on some of the anime I've been watching, and maybe even some game stuff. It's just been wild. I've been kind of disconnected for a little bit, so we'll get back into the groove of things really soon. I do apologize. I'm still so tired. I'm yawning all the time, but all right. Thank you for listening. I will catch you next week. Until next time, get out of here. I don't want to talk to you no more, please.